Today, I have a very, very special guest, Dean Graziosi. And let me share a few notes about Dean. Dean is a multiple New York best-selling author, entrepreneur, investor. He's one of the driving forces behind a company called Mastermind.com as well. And while generating well over $2 billion in revenue, he's always put people first. Before I waste any time, Dean, for those who might not know the full story, can you share a little bit about your background and how you came to be so passionate about helping people thrive in this new knowledge economy?
Well, first off, thanks for having me. This is fun, and it's great to be here because I know most of you are probably new. Some of you are in the game, ready for the next level. Some of you are crushing it, and you're looking for that competitive edge. I promise you, I'm going to give you something for each of you today. I've been in this industry every day of my life, heading on 30 years. When I started, I had to go do infomercials. So many people ask me, they'll come up to me and be like, "Hey, why did you start infomercials?" Like, because I'm old. Because when I started, there was no internet, and if you think about the barrier to entry, I had to spend a couple $100,000 on an infomercial and buy TV media and put product in a warehouse and ship it all around the world. Think about the opportunity you have now. Your barrier to entry is so much lower. The opportunity to market is easier. The opportunity to fulfill is easier. Working with Go HighLevel and all the amazing tools, it's exponential. So my partner, Tony Robbins, and I, the co-founder of Mastermind and my dearest friend, we always joke that when we started in this industry, we had to walk uphill to school both ways in the snow. You hear those stories of parents and grandparents, depending on where you live. But I think that helps set the tone. So I won't get long into my story. I want to deliver massive value to you guys today. I want this to be the greatest masterclass you've ever attended. You take notes, be ready, because I have been in this. I've been exactly where you are. I've been scared to death. I've thought of quitting. I didn't know if people would ever want to buy from me. I didn't know, once I started making sales, could I really scale this? Was I smart enough to run a business? Was I smart enough for 10 employees, 100 employees, 300 employees, right? When I got to a million, could I really get to 10? When I got to 10, could I really get to 50? When I got to 50, could I really get to 100? And would I blow it up along the way? And every one of those, they say new level, new devil. Believe me, I experienced all the devils and failed miserably in between. So what I hope I could do today is condense decades into a few hours and give you some strategies that I wish someone gave me earlier. And they might be different than what you're thinking. I want to tell you first, real quick, how I got hooked into this industry. Um, I came from very humble beginnings. I lived in a trailer park with my mom, my single mom. She worked 3 jobs to support us. Always thinking, how can I do something in my life to support my mom? That was my original goal. So I started a firewood cutting business. I started fixing wrecked cars. I bought rundown apartment houses. I started getting momentum. And then I saw Tony Robbins on an infomercial. Late night infomercial. I bought his product. And 2 things, and I'll tell you how I got in this industry. 2 things fundamentally happened. One, what Tony shared shifted my life. He made me realize that life happened for me, not to me, that I could change my destiny, that my past doesn't equal my future, all those things that you've heard a million times, but they really sunk in. But the second thing it did, it made me realize that I gave Tony Robbins money and he sent me information. And I was like, wow, I paid for experience. I paid because Tony went there first, and it allowed me to go faster. And I immediately wanted to go in this industry. That was almost 29 years ago. I said yes to this industry, the knowledge economy, the self-education economy, the creator economy, whatever you want to call it. That was my entrance into this industry. And it's been the greatest experience of my life.
I love it. Thanks for sharing that. For those of you that are watching in the high level community or any of our platform, we are live currently on almost everything you can think of. I'm curious of where you are as audience. Like, are you in the early stages of jumping in from that 9 to 5 and you're trying to jump off that cliff and figure out how to make a airplane on the way down? Or maybe you've already landed, you're trying to figure out how to lift this business to the next level or get started with your maybe your first client. So whoever you are, give us
I
some
love that.
feedback in the comments and tell us where you are. It allows us to connect with you at a deeper level. Um, Dean, I've got one more question for you as we get started. So many people right now are feeling stuck or overwhelmed by the pace of just like change. What would you say to someone who knows they're meant for more, but isn't sure where to exactly start?
Okay, so I'm going to go really quick on this, then I'll get to what I want to share with you. You need leverage. We all need leverage. We all get in a hypnotic rhythm of life. I love reading old Napoleon Hill stuff, and he uses that word a lot, that without realizing, we get in a hypnotic rhythm. We drift. The outside world gets so crazy that it makes like our life, the boat we're on, just drift and follow the craziness of the world. And there's a time in your life where you got to get off drifting. You can't be in a hypnotic rhythm. You got to wake up. You got to get disturbed. And the things that disturb me is I think about getting to the end of my life and realize I lived someone else's dreams. That I didn't go, I didn't take, I let imposter syndrome, I let the thought that maybe I'm too old for technology, I'm too young for technology, or nobody would believe in me, or I can't understand marketing, or this is too hard. Life is hard. To the end of your life and feel, imagine God or whoever you think your creator is playing you a video of the man or the woman you could have been. I don't think there's anything scarier than that. So then take that energy into today and go, no, I don't want that regret at the end. I'm going to make a move now. And once you make a move, then here's 3 things that'll change your life. Everybody asks me for the secret to success. There's no secret that it's a compilation of little things. But if I was going to boil it down to 3, it'd be these 3 things. Number 1, find an industry that's exponentially growing, right? We all know there's a lot of industries dying, right? We know taxi cabs went out of business because of Uber. But now we know being an Uber driver is not safe because what they said, 2 to 4 years, all Ubers are going to be autonomous. I wouldn't want to be an Uber driver right now. So I don't care how good it is. I don't want to get in that industry because it's dying. So the cool part, the knowledge economy, the knowledge industry, the self-education is exponentially growing at $1 billion a day, heading towards $1 trillion a year. So you're in the right spot. Cool. Number 2, this is the one we're never taught. Don't try to figure stuff out on your own. Model proven practices. I'm going to get into more of that really soon, right? It's part of what I want to share with you today. And the third thing is you need a reason why you're doing it so disturbing that you keep moving forward even when you don't see success. You have to persist until you succeed. When you fail and you can't even see the end of the desert, but you know life is better on the other side, you got to have something so purposeful that you get back up and you go, I'm doing it again. If you fail, I'm doing it again. And believe me, I know from all the years of doing this, those that pick the right industry, model proven practices, and keep going, there's no way you can't reach your dreams.
I love that. For those of you that are watching and you're listening to this, if you can relate, I want you to type in the chat, I can relate. And the community that you're getting ready to discover here, I promise you will change your path forever. Dean, let's get started with what we have planned and the agenda of what we want to teach.
I love it. I'm going to jump right in. Thank you for a great open. You know, before I get started, what I'm going to share today, I'm just going to give you a little hint, is first off, you should know, like we said, an amazing industry. Technology has changed the game. It's exponentially easier, but it's not a magical money machine. You got to do the work. But wouldn't you rather do a little hard work up front so you can live easier later, right? Some people say, you know, I'll keep this job. It's safe, it's secure, and they get to the end, and life's a lot harder when you missed it, right? What we talked about. So first off, you got to do the work, but you don't have to do it alone. And you don't have to do it with old school tools. You have the opportunity for newer tools, right? So I like to look at it as like, if the old way of you living life is not serving you, then it's broken. And we got to remind ourselves that it's broken. And then we got to find a new path. Now, those of you that are already in this industry already believe in it, already know it. You already know what I'm saying. You don't need me a little pep talk to guide you into this industry. But some of you are, do I jump in? Do I do something different? I know I'm meant for more, but what should it be? I'm telling you, it should be the knowledge industry, because the cool part is your value, your asset is the things you already went through. It lives in here. You don't have to worry about inflation. You don't have to worry about tariffs. You don't have to worry about shipping costs or put it in a warehouse. And the value of allowing someone to go faster, it's priceless, right? Your story, your struggles, it's your strength, and it's the thing that can empower you through a shifting economy. So what I thought is, if you know that this is the industry, you got access to great tools, there's access to training to allow you to launch and scale. And I want to talk about a training my partner, Tony Robbins, and I are doing. I'll talk about that later. We do it once a year, and we want to invite all of you for free. We'll talk about that later. It's happening on May 15th, so put it in your calendar. But what I thought I'd share is the 10 principles that I wish someone would have taught me sooner. These 10 principles are in no particular order. But when I look back at my life and people say, how did you go so far so fast? Believe me, it didn't feel like I was going so far so fast when I was in it, right? When you're failing miserably, when you question yourself, when you look in the mirror and go, I can't do this. I'm going to go get a job or stay in the job I have. I've had all those emotions. I've had my friends and family, my own sister sit me down and go, hey, I know you liked what you bought from Tony Robbins, but you're not Tony Robbins. Like, you don't have a college education. People want to learn from a teacher. All of those things were in my head too. I hit a fork in the road that said, hey, you should be happy with the life you have. And then the other way that said, the heck with that. You're meant for more. You could do more. Be bold. I was hit with the statistics that most businesses fail. You can't look at any of that. You got to find this inner passion that goes, no, I'm going to stand out. I'm going to be the 10%. I'm going to be the 40%. I'm going to be the small percentage that lives life on my terms, even if I got to work a little harder up front. So you ready? I'm going to go through these 10 fairly quick. I'm going to try to do 10 in 20 minutes. So it's only 2 minutes
Love
each.
it.
We're going to go fast.
Love
Number
it.
one.
Everybody type in the comments 10, and it's not in any particular order. I want you to pay attention here. Roll as much as you can.
You got it. So number one, it's time to audit your inner circle. And what do I mean by that? You've heard this before. You're the sum total of the people you hang around. If you're trying something new, if this is your first entrepreneurial journey, if you're finally taking that thing that's been screaming inside you to go for it and going after your dreams, there's going to be people in your life that aren't as brave. And they're going to think you're crazy. Some think they're protecting you. And listen to me on this one. If you are dimming your glow to match the people around you, you can't live into your full potential because you're turning down the heat. You're turning down the energy, right? So you need to look at the people that you ask advice for, the people that you surround yourself for. Audit the conversation you have the next time you go to a coffee shop or go to dinner at the kitchen table. You have to find a way to be around people who lift you up, that empower you. And if you don't have them in your immediate life, then you find them online. I listened to books on audio for years, right? Dale Carnegie, Earl Nightingale, Napoleon Hill, all these people were something that empowered me and lifted me up. So number one is you have to audit your inner circle, and don't dare dim your glow to match the people around you. You're not doing them any service. You're actually doing them a disservice. You want to be the greatest example for your family. You want to be the greatest example if you have children. And the only way to do that is be that crazy version of you that not only dreams, but actually takes action. And if you have too many people around you telling you can't, I promise you, you won't. So number one is audit your inner circle. If you want to put these in the chat, you surely can. Number two, solve bigger problems. Now you might be thinking to yourself, wow, I'm on this with Go High Level. I want to learn Dean's marketing strategy. I mean, this will be probably our 13th event in the row that averages around 1 million people. And I'm so blessed to say that. The one coming up, I'll tell you more about it here in a moment. And I know I could have come on and given you a funnel today or a marketing strategy, but I think I would be doing you a disservice. You could find those from a lot of people. These are the things that allowed me to scale when I thought I was going to quit. These are the things when people told me I was crazy. These are the things when it took me from 1 million to 3 million to 10 million to 100 million. And my brand's doing over $1 billion, right? Heading towards or at $2 billion. These are the little things that are actually the big things. These are the small hinges that swing big doors. So number two, solve bigger problems. When I watch somebody start to get in business, especially if they're coming from a career mindset and problems start to arise, people go, wait, I thought success was about no problems. No. Don't wish for smaller problems. Wish to get better at handling bigger problems. If I'm in a room with successful people, I know the most successful person in that room solves bigger problems than everybody else. It's just a different frame on the same thing. Instead of when a problem comes in, everybody's like, oh, I don't want it. Be the person who go, I got this, give me it. Is that all you got? Give me it. Adopt this philosophy of bigger problem, bigger solution, bigger problem, bigger money, bigger problem, bigger results, bigger problem, bigger impact to other people. When we shift that, I promise you, life will start to change immediately. So when you look at it and go, I don't understand this technology. Oh, it's a problem. I'm going to solve it. Once I solve that, I don't understand this marketing. Solve it. You solve those problems in life. If we solve constraints, as we click the done box of constraints, then the box we eventually check is massive success. So number 2, solve bigger problems. Number 3, it's on me. It's on me. If you want to write that in the chat, it's on me. It's time to take total ownership. Because let me just share something with you. There is nobody coming to save you. There's nobody going to fix it. I don't care if you like the last president, the current president, or you don't like both of them, no matter where you live in the world, whatever politics you like, what politics you don't like, is any of them or anyone coming to wave a magic wand across your life and make you successful? Hell no. It's on you. And there's something, this total freedom when it's on you. If you fail, it's on you. Even if someone let you down, you chose that person to let you down, right? If something goes wrong or the marketing doesn't work, when it is on you, man, all you do is learn from it and make it better. There's something magical about having the ability to say, that went wrong, that's on me. But there's something so freeing that when it goes right, you know it's on you, right? We all know the person that when it goes wrong, am I right on this one? We all know the person when it goes wrong, it's like, oh, it wasn't me. They changed the algorithm, that my partner doesn't know how to market. He's lazy. And then it wins. You go, oh, did you see what I did? See what I did? It's like, no, no, no. If the good is on you, the bad's got to be on you. When you do it, life changes forever. Number 4, who's steering your ship? I want you to hear about this. I mean, I really want you to hear this. Who has their hands on the wheel of your life? I know that might sound like a silly analogy, but I like analogies. I like thinking about, this is my life and I'm steering my ship, right? People might not understand my dreams. Like I had my buddy Trent Shelton once say, you know, this is my prescription. I see my bigger future. It's crystal clear on the man I want to be, the woman I want to become, right? It's crystal clear. I got 20/20 with these on. But if I give my glasses to somebody else, they put them on and go, I can't see anything. And you're expecting them to get your dreams. They're not, but you allow them to put their hands on the wheel of your life. Are you sure you want to do this? You're not really a teacher. You don't have a following. You need to have 1 million people on Instagram before you launch this. Come on, you can't do this. Who are you letting hands on the wheel of your life? Think about the news. When's the last time you watched the news and thought to yourself, wow, I feel so good. I'm so empowered. This is so enlightening, right? Never, never. But you're letting the news get their hands on your wheel. Because if you watch the news too much, you feel bad about what you're doing, your confidence goes down, someone else is steering the ship towards safety, or what they perceive as safety. I think about safety. Did you ever hear that story of a lion, right? You ever see that meme? It's online, but the lion's like 3 meals a day, safe as heck, no one to bother him, no one to hunt him, and they show a lion in a cage, right? Be careful what you wish for. You might be protected and be stuck in a cage, right? So I would just audit today. Who are you allowing to influence the decisions you make to steer your ship? And what I'd say is smack their hands. Nobody gets on the wheel of your life. It is your prescription. You have your 20/20. Stick to it. Number 5, care more. Care more. As the world, and we'll talk more about this in a moment, AI can be such an accelerator. AI gets you off the blank page. AI is going to allow you to market better, sell better, write better, copy, build better courses, better product. Tony and I have been working on it for 3 years straight. We have an AI that thinks like we do. Want to learn how we do big launches? We have an AI that knows all of it, right? So it's going to allow you to go faster. So who is going to stand out? The people that care more. You know, I would love to say I've been in this almost 30 years, and I'd love to say I always cared as much as I do now. And I hope that's true. But I do know over the last decade, especially the last 5 years, if you know anything about my brand, if you know anything about mastermind.com, you know anything about my partner, Tony Robbins, we obsess on clients. We fall in love with our clients. We obsess on their results. We obsess on their outcome. We obsess on our product because we love them like family. And I know people feel it when they're a part of working with us. They know they're cared for. So in a world where marketing could become a little more level playing field because of AI, sales can have a little more. Who are you going to go to? Aren't you going to go to someone who you know cares more? that they can look at you and go, I know where you're at. Let's do everything in our power to get you where you want to go. So here's what I'm going to say. One of those unfair advantages that no one talks about: care more than your competition. Fall in love with your clients. Fall in love with their outcome. Fall in love with your product. I promise you, you'll stand out. Write that down. Care more. Put a little asterisk next to that one. Number 6, you got to be bold. You can write that down. It's like, duh, you got to be bold. No, but you have to be. You have to choose courage over comfort. Courage isn't moving forward in the absence of fear. Courage is moving forward even though you're scared. Courage is saying, I'm launching anyway. Courage is saying, I don't care what my friends and family think about this business that I love. And where do you get courage? Well, there's a few reasons. You can borrow it from the past. You've already been courageous multiple times in your life. You've done things that you didn't think you could do and you did them. So borrow it from them. Secondly, you could realize what takes your courage away and stop doing it. Like we said earlier, maybe the news, friends, something, and find the things that empower your courage, do more of it. Or you could use leverage. If I'm not courage today, I'll get to the end of my life with huge regret that I didn't live into who I was meant to be. So whatever it takes. Like people say, how do you find courage? I don't know, but borrow it from the past. Listen to things that empower you. Think about the end of your life and go, no, I need to act today, whatever it takes. You just have to do something that invokes an emotion to say, I'm scared, but I'm doing it anyway. And when you model proven practices, at least you're not going out in the ship without a map. You got a map, right? Number 7, focus on the fix. It's really solution-based thinking. I say focus on the fix because I've been telling my son, who's now 16, that since he was little. Something would go wrong and he would focus on why it went wrong and whose fault it was and what I should have did. And we only have so much energy in a day. You're going to make mistakes, a lot of them. Isn't that really comforting, right? But you are going to make a lot of mistakes. And you have 2 options to say, I can't believe that happened. Why did that happen? Whose fault is it? Or you could say, what can I learn from it? Throw it away and focus all your energy on the solution and being better. I know this sounds really simple, but I like to say, if you spill a glass of milk, you could complain on whose fault it is, and it'll stain the carpet, and it'll stink, and why, and all those emotions, or you could just get a towel and a new glass of milk, right? Sometimes we just have to shift that energy into how we can learn and go faster. I mean, do you know how many people that you probably know that were in a bad relationship and they still focus on everything that went wrong and they can't be in a new one because they're still focusing on the last one? How many people started a business and they weren't in the wrong industry, or they didn't have the right tools, they didn't have the right guidance, they weren't modeling proven practices, and they failed, and now in their head they think, oh, all businesses, when you start them, they're painful, they don't work, and you go broke. No, it's just you didn't have the right elements. You didn't have the right pieces. So what could you learn from this? Like, oh, I didn't have guidance. I didn't have the right tools. I wasn't modeling proven practices. Duh, no big deal. You learn from it. Maybe God, the universe, whatever your beliefs are, needed you to go through that in order to be right here, right now, to say, I'm focusing on solutions. I'm a solution-oriented thinker. I can take all those things up until today, and I can use them as the fuel to go forward. So who's ready to focus on the fix? Solution-oriented thinking, obsessively, because your brain will get you to micromanage each of those elements and what went wrong and whose fault it is and why. Doesn't serve anybody. Just got to let it go. Number 8, I said it earlier, but I will persist until I succeed. You know, I think it's the only language, or the only word in the English language that'll guarantee your success. If you're in the right industry and you model proven practices, if you keep going, there's no way you can't succeed. I believe most people quit inches from their breakthrough. You know, I will persist until you succeed. I got that from an Og Mandino book written in the 50s called The World's Greatest Salesman. And he talks about the different scrolls. There's 10 scrolls to being a salesman. It's really about life. I've had both my 2 older kids read it. But he said a couple things that are really profound, and they're simple. One is, for some reason, we think the prize is at the beginning of the journey when it's actually at the end of the journey. And the fact of the matter is, we don't know how long the journey is going to be. So how he described it in the book is you don't know how many corners you have to go around till success finds you, right? So I think of those corners as thinking about quitting, failing, something goes wrong, someone lets you down, people tell you you're crazy, the first campaign doesn't work. I did a launch and made 2 sales. I thought I was going to make 20, right? I think those corners is God's way, the universe's way, maybe the success tax auditor. It's their way of going, how many corners will this guy go around or this girl go around before they give up? And I think so many people quit. And not to use a sports metaphor, but they quit on the 2-yard line. They came down the whole field and like, I just can't take it anymore. And if they could just see the future and realize it was just 2 more problems, just 2 more breakthroughs, just 2 more times you failed and you go around that corner and there's your next level of your business. There's the launch that works. So number 8, you gotta persist until you succeed. And that ties all the way back of having a big enough purpose on why the heck you're doing it in the first place. Number 9, commitment over convenience. There was a gentleman named, I'm going to think about it in a moment, Kekage, David Kekage. David was jogging and got hit by a car and was paralyzed from the neck down. And I met David, and God, it makes you just so grateful on life. He was so happy, such a positive thinker. And he had this business card that he unfolded and it got super long. It was all these Kekage credos. His last name was Kekage credos. But one of them really hit me and stuck with me, I should say. And I said it earlier, but it was living the hard way is easy and living the easy way is hard. And I know I said this earlier, but it's important repeating. It's easy to not work out. It's easy to, with Postmates, to order really horrible for you food that tastes good, like pizza and sandwiches, and not work out. And it's easy to get hooked on Netflix. That's easy today. But it's really hard being 60, 70 years old and maybe have diabetes and overweight, and you can't play with your grandchildren at the level you'd like to. That's just a fact. I'm not judging anyone. I'm just saying. It's easy right now to stick in a job that pays the bills, maybe a couple raises every other year. You get a paid vacation, little 401k building, but you know it's robbing your soul. You're unfulfilled. If you really told the truth, you're unfulfilled. It's easy just to let it ride and pay the bills now. Really hard to get to the end of your life and realize you never let your true creativity flow. You didn't scale your own thing. You didn't start your own thing. Regret, oof, it might weigh ounces now. It weighs tons at the end of your life. So who's ready to commit? You can put it in the chat. Who's ready to commit now so you can have more convenience later? Everybody wants it all. Here's what I do know. I see people, they're in business for a month. They make the first sale. They got a $20,000, $50,000, $100,000 watch. They're chartering a jet. They want all the convenience and all the things now. And I don't see them in a year later. I've been doing this almost 30 years. I know who sticks. You know who sticks? Head down, grinding, committed, hard work. And when those things come, they come. And by the time they come, they don't even show anybody. That's a fact. Last but not least, who, not how. This is the whole emphasis of modeling proven practices. When you were ready to design and build your first course, who can help you? Not how. Who's already done it that could help you get there? When that's all built and you're ready, it's a workshop, a mastermind, it's a membership, it's a course, it's a monthly Zoom workshop. Who has already done it that you could model? Who can you cut a check to go faster for? You see, how, Tony calls it, my partner, the tyranny of how. It's like, oh, I need to get more followers on social media. How do you do that? Not how. Who's already got more followers on social media and who's already carved the path, and how do you model that? Right? Okay, I'm already in business. Social's growing. Course is ready. I'm in the knowledge business. I'm doing X amount of sales a month. I want to triple that. How the heck do you triple that? How do you do a big launch that some of these people do? How? No. Switch your body to go, who has already done it? Who can allow me to go faster? Who can I model? Who has had the ability to do this? And now I could take what they've done and go faster. So when you adapt these 10 principles into anything you're doing, and you cap it off with who, not how, it is the greatest unfair advantage of anything you could do. And that's what I was saying earlier, and I'd love to invite all of you for free. My partner, Tony Robbins, and I, this is our 7th year in a row. Hopefully, if you're in this industry, there's no way you could miss them. They're the biggest events in the world. Again, 13 events between the two companies, averaging about 1 million people each. This one should have about 800,000 people. It's called Thrive in 2025. It's happening on May 15th, 16th, and 17th. And this is where you get the who. This is going to be an amazing 3 days. We're going to showcase the AI we've been doing. We're going to show you how to take what you currently have and make it better, faster, quicker, how to accelerate. Again, Tony's been in this 46 years. You believe that? 46 years. Me, almost 30. We got 76 years between the two of us, and we didn't used to do big stuff. We're still doing big stuff. And this is 3 days. We're going to pull back the curtain and show you exactly how to, no matter where you are. If you're just starting, you need to be there. If you're in it, need a next level, you need to be there. So this has been a blast spending time with you.
I love that. For those of you that are watching, if you are part of the high level community, this is kind of an exclusive thing where Dean and his team is making this event available for you. I believe the link is thriveghl.com, but we'll make sure it's the right one. Make sure
it is. It's thriveghl.com, okay. And it's not kind of free for you guys. It's totally free. And I would say, here's the last thing I would share with you. And thank you for today. You've been a gracious host, and I'm sorry I did all the speaking. But thank you for letting me
I love it.
Thank you for letting me do my thing. But here's what I want to tell you. Sometimes when something is free, we don't value it, right? If we charge somebody $10,000, we have a $250,000 mastermind. You charge somebody $250, they show up every time, on time, all the time. Charge somebody $50, they show up on time. Make it free, it's like, if I can make it, I'll go. Where do you get the opportunity to learn from Tony Robbins live, myself live? We helped found this industry. We're still the biggest in this industry. And we got people like Matthew McConaughey coming because he turned his book into a course. We got Jay Shetty coming and his wife who took their life experiences. Jay as a monk turned it into knowledge industry. And how did he do it? We got Gary Brecka who took his health world and turned it into knowledge products. We got so many great people coming, all hell-bent on showing you how you could model in our footprint. So you can model proven practices. ThriveGhl.com. Go reserve your spot. We can't wait to see you there.
I love it. And just last question for you.
Yeah.
Dean, I know you are all about impacting people. What still drives you today to put together events like this where you're like, you know what, I'm going to talk to the person that is net new in the world of entrepreneurship and I'm going to do my best to impact them? Like, what still drives you today?
You know, it's a really great question. And the answer is, it's your job to find that. If I think all the way back in my life, watching my mom work 3 jobs to make nothing when I was a kid. And some days I'd go to school without lunch money and tell my friends that I wasn't hungry, even though my mom sacrificed her life for my sister and I. That was my first why. That's my first driver. I remember being, I don't know if I was 5 years old, 8 years old, or 10, but I remember thinking I have to make money to take care of my mom. And by the time I was 25, I retired my mom. She's still alive. She's 80. I still send her a check every week of her life. The house she lives in, the car she drives. I could do all those things for this amazing woman, right? But that was my first thing. But once I solved that, I realized I had to replace a why that was just as powerful. I had to replace a purpose. And my whole life, I've been able to do that. At the phase I'm at now, I'm 1,000 times more successful than I've ever could have imagined. And so many times my family will say to me, Dean, when is enough enough? It's like, enough? I have more lives to impact, especially being part. If you show up at the event, you'll see it. Being partners with Tony Robbins, we talk every night. And our conversations about how can we impact more lives? How can we change more lives? How can people see they don't have to settle, that they can model proven practices? I mean, he's been doing it way longer than me. He's the GOAT of all GOATs. And so at this phase of my life, what drives me is impacting more lives. And my amazing team that I have, the incredible people I get to meet, being a dad of 4, being a great husband, those things drive me. And I've associated those to impact and success and a growing business. So just know we all have to find our own thing. But once you accomplish it, then you got to find a new one. It's like you got to move the goal out 10 feet when you accomplish it. You got to pick it up and move it back out 10 feet and then go back and do the work.
I love it. Well, thank you for watching, everyone. And I would love for you to comment below if you are committed to yourself. You are planning on attending this event. Give us feedback. We'll make sure all the resources are available to you. Thank you so much. Bye for now.